All right, you clicked on. I'm going to do a little pattern update here. I haven't done this in a while, but since we just got through Hurricane Arthur, and it's a pretty quiet week weather-wise for most of the East Coast. Through Northwest Pennsylvania, New York has been dealing with some thunderstorms. Let's take a look at what's going on here. This is actually out in the Pacific Ocean, and I show this because it influences our overall pattern. We have a typhoon here that's curving just to the west of Japan, and the reason I'm showing that is because usually when typhoons curve west of Japan, it influences our weather 6 to 10 days later with a very big trough and cold and stormier conditions. And as we go out to the period here, you can see this big ridge is developing over the west coast. And in turn, in the 6 to 10 day period, that's going to cause a very, very deep trough to develop over our area. I'm talking early next week, which is going to bring colder and stormier conditions. Now, when I say colder, it's not the winter. But temperatures that are about, say, 5 degrees Celsius, about 10 degrees below normal for this time of year. And you can just see it's a classic setup of a ridge in the west blocking over the top in Greenland. And this is the winter. This would be a pattern that could produce snowstorms, but it's not. It's the summer, and the jet is not as strong as it would be in the winter. In the off season, basically the jet weakens and then starts to strengthen again back in August. But as you can see, the weather is going to get colder and stormier. And as we move along the period through next Friday, that trough stays stubborn, and then maybe by the following week we have a little bit of relief. But that's been the story of this summer. We have not had a very. I know it's hot now, but overall has not been a hot summer, especially for this midsection of the country. We've been about average for the summer. Taking a look at the surface maps here for the rest of this week, you can see we stay pretty dry. To our again north and west, and here has been a little bit of unsettled weather. But once we get into early next week, when that big trough comes in, here comes that unsettled weather. So I am expecting rainy conditions to start the week next week. Let's take a look at the ocean temperature profiles currently, because this drives the overall pattern. I'm starting to keep an eye on this really for next winter, because it's going to go into my winter forecast. And this region here is the El Nino region. Okay. El Nino Southern Oscillation. When water's warmer than normal, it's an El Nino. When water's colder than normal, it's an La Nina. Without getting too technical, there's a lot of hype about a big El Nino this year, and that's just not going to happen. It's warmer than normal now, but this has actually been getting cooler. When it's all said and done, this will end up being a weak El Nino, which for our winter will make things very interesting. Also, keep an eye out here in the Pacific, that very big warm body of water. Remember, it's this warm body of water that caused high pressure to develop here last winter, which caused that monster ridge to push up in the west and bring all that cold air down, which really gave us a big chill. Based on the latest models, that's not going to go away next winter. And I've been looking at these models consistently. So that's something to watch for. Winter 2015 could be very interesting, given a weak El Nino, a warm Gulf of Alaska, and also a couple other factors that I'm looking at. So keep that in mind. I'm going to, towards the end of the summer, put a little bit of a winter outlook out, maybe sometime in August, and then I'll update it again in November. But I'd like to keep you guys, interested here to see that, I am starting to look at this stuff already, and it's definitely something that shouldn't be boring, to say the least, based on what I'm looking at now. So thanks for checking in. Enjoy the nice weather rest of this week, and I'll cut a video sometime probably next week or later this week.